Georgia will not repeat as national champions. We've seen enough with this football team to know this is not going to be a back-to-back thing.
To be fair, I didn't think they were going to repeat coming into the season. So I'm just going to say that. Like, this isn't – I don't even know if this is an overreaction. This is just I didn't think they were going to repeat anyways. But the thing that's kind of scary to me is, again, that speed and space. And that touchdown to the corner from Mizzou with the play action, the clear out over the top, and then the tight end wide open. Somebody's not talking on that defense. You know what you don't have? Lewis Seen, Nakobe Dean. Somebody's not talking over there. And that's the part that gives me pause. That's the part that gave me pause coming into the season. So we'll see what they're able to do, but I think that talent-wise, they certainly are one of the top 3-4 teams in the country, but I'm not sitting here being like, yeah, they're a shoe-in to win it again. Max, is that crazy? Because you saw that touchdown.
Yeah.
No one knew where that guy was.
No, they had no clue. It's like he stepped off the sidelines after the play was called and just ran in there. And they're like, oh, we counted everybody else. Yeah, I was like, you must have counted somebody twice on the offensive line. I don't know. You thought they had 6 linemen and you forgot they had an extra receiving guy there. I don't know. But you're right. I mean, that's the one thing that I saw and why, I can agree with this overreaction that, yeah, I didn't expect them to be that team this year. And they have surprised me when seeing them live against South Carolina.
Sure.
But like you said, since then, you have to do the amazing to pull these games off. I mean, this is a team, remember we were talking about last week about that Auburn Mizzou game and the debacle and kerfluffle that was?
Yes.
About nobody wanted to win that game. And then if you're Mizzou, you lost by 3 to Auburn, who Brian Harsin will be gone by the end of this year.
Yep.
And you now take Georgia to the hilt. And you only lose by 4. They've lost by a combined total of the last 2 games by 7 points. One of them happens to be the number 1 team in the country.
Yep.
And that's where I worry about Georgia. Georgia's showing the cracks in the armor. They're showing that we can't really do this. And you saw it when Brock Bowers doesn't score. This is a different team.
Wow.
Like, he can be explosive.
Wow. A team realized that Brock Bowers is on the team.
Yes, actually.
And they covered number 19 and they didn't let him just get the ball and run crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
What a thought. Yeah.
Science at its finest.
Felder, you summarized it very cleanly for me. Like anytime you lose what Georgia did to the NFL, I think, like, in a weird way, we all should have seen this coming a little bit, right? Like, you don't just fire on all cylinders as a new group, even if the talent is there. Like, it's going to take a little while to get back to the level that Georgia was at the end of last season, just off of the bodies that are gone alone. Now, that said, I'm concerned just like I thought even if Georgia's not number 1, like, they're a shoe-in for the playoff. That's how I've been operating with this team based on everything I had seen prior to Kent State. I thought Kent State was a total they got the scare. They didn't take them seriously. They'll be back next week. You come off of Kent State and play the way they did against Missouri, leave that door open for that kicker to bang 50-plus yard field goals, and all of a sudden the bright lights are on and it's 10 p.m. Eastern and you're down 2 scores. It says something about, like, their fortitude to finish that game and find a way to grab it back. But I think it says more about the fact that they were even in that spot, in a spot where they were already on red alert after the week before, right, Felder?
Well, yeah, it's you would expect to have a bounce back game, right? A game where you put up 60 and nobody can touch you. And I think that might be the mentality difference between somewhere like Alabama and somewhere in Georgia. Alabama, listen, we watched them play that 20-19 game against Texas, and then they bounce back, and then they keep bouncing back. And even when their starting quarterback goes out, they still go out against a team that's, Arkansas, top 10, top 15 in the country, and they still are like, listen, we're going to put the paws on you. In Georgia, tough game, licks wounds, and then has another tough game. I still think Georgia's absolutely amazing. I think they're very good. I don't know what his name is, but the kid number 2 on defense is remarkable. I love him and could watch him all day. And so the thing for me with Georgia is going to be Stetson Bennett standing up, making plays to somebody that's not. It looks, call me crazy, Greg, but did it not look like Mizzou was like, we're going to cover Ladd McConkey and Brock Bowers. We're going to cover those 2 guys, and then we'll see what you do.
It absolutely did. And it worked, right? Like, that's the craziest thing is it worked. I just like, I'm so bad at not looking ahead. I'm so bad at just looking at the week that was with this stuff. Like this is why they have me host the overreaction show, boys, because
Sure.
I'm here to look 6 weeks out and be like, we can now say this. But like, I've thought all along, whoever loses the SEC championship, and you could write it in right now, it's Georgia and Alabama. Whoever loses is in the playoff. It doesn't matter. We might as well simulate the season and put those 2 teams on opposite ends of the bracket and hope we get Alabama-Georgia rematch in the title game. I'm starting to wonder if Georgia loses that game, maybe even in blowout fashion, dare I say, I don't know that Georgia makes the playoff as a 1-loss team that loses to Alabama, do they?
They both got to play Tennessee.
They both got to play Tennessee. You're right.
Like, I just want to put that on the table. They both got to play Tennessee.
Absolutely.
And I love that football team. So they might be a 1-loss. If you're a 1-loss team and you lose that game, you're not getting in.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
So I just want to put that, I just want to put Tennessee on the table as a problem. Their defense has issues, but they're a problem. And by the way, Georgia also has to play Mississippi State, and Alabama has to play Ole Miss.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna drop those. I don't mean to take a dump on your concept, but I'm just gonna say Mississippi State, Tennessee, and Ole Miss, they're gonna have something to say about this. I don't feel crazy saying that. I feel pretty good about it.